Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at Tesla, and y'all know I say Tesla just does what Tesla does, right? We were at the 347.68. That's where we closed. Seems like we were having some trouble in that 350 area here yesterday. We hit that twice, only to, kind of like move sideways, or as I like to say, the gathering spot. Well, we have declined from there, made a pre-market low of about 335.30, which we were kind of trading in this area of support around the 336.68. Resistance was around the 338.44. As you can see, we moved back up, got rejected here at this 50 EMA, which is right at the area here at 342.15 that I had marked. I love to see that, y'all, right? So now, where are the trouble places for Tesla back to the upside? As you can see, we would definitely need to get back 340.85. We need to get back above that 341.60. Now, should we break the 342.15 area, we've been there a few times. That means we've broken through some strong level of resistance, in my opinion. Should we break that to 342.15, 342.76 could be a trouble place, and breaking that level, let's see, the ATR trailing stop is around 344.29, which is right at an area that I have marked. So y'all, I just like to see that simple support and resistance. Let me say that. So should we break that area, we could very well come back to around 345.40, and if we should break that level, 346.23, breaking that to 346.84. Again, at 347.50, should we break that, 348.75. Now, it looks like we're having some trouble here, so we very well may decline. Let's say that. Again, not financial advice. However, this area here around 338.44 is going to be a support place for us. Should we break that level, we can come back to around the 336.68. Breaking that, we could possibly come back and retest the 335.80, and if we should break that level, 333.77. Breaking that, 332.58. If we break the 332.58, we can come back to 331.52, and again here at 329.42. Now, breaking that 329.42 area, we could very well come back to, let's see, yes, here we can come back to around 329.35 or the 328.18. That's what I was looking for. So if you're trading Tesla today, y'all, those are possible areas to the upside and to the downside. And I say so often, y'all, in this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. Excuse me. So we are now looking at the SPY. We closed at 587.59. And as you can see, y'all, SPY has been trading just in this little gathering spot here, kind of like in a zone, right? So what's interesting is it bounced. I'm going to see if I can make that a little bit bigger for us. It bounced right at an area that I have marked here around the 583.45. Price came down just a little bit, but that is our area of support. So that 583.45 was support. We bounced from there, kind of like Tesla, only to come back up and get rejected here around the 585.56. So where are the trouble places as of now for the SPY? Let's say back to the upside, right? So if by chance we get back above 585.29, we could possibly have trouble again, 585.56. Breaking that level, 585.74, which is not far from the 50 EMA as of now, 585.87. Should we break that, there's a few layers of resistance around 586.08, 586.15, not far away, 586.30. Now, should we break the 586.30, we could possibly have trouble at this ATR trail and stop 586.40. In my opinion, that's going to be a strong resistance area for the SPY. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble again around 586.67. And if we break that level, 586.89, breaking that brings us back to around 587.21. So if you're trading the SPY today, those are possible rejection areas to the upside or your resistance areas. Now, back to the downside, breaking breaking under, let's say 584.67, we can come back to around 584.42 and find support. Losing that level, 584.12 could be a support area for us. Now, should we break that level, 583.64 could be a support area, and breaking that 583.44, and it brings us back again to this 583.40 because something stopped us at this before. So breaking this level means we've broken through a strong level of support for the SPY. So if we should break that, I would definitely pay close attention to around the 582.80 area, because that could be our next support area. And keep in mind, y'all, we could very well get stopped out anywhere, because from this area at the 583.45 all the way down here to the 582.80, it's a good distance, you know, price wise, so it could very well get stopped out in between. So should we break this level, we could very well come back to 582.53 and under that 582.20. So if you are trading the SPY today, those are possible areas of, you know, trouble places or support and resistance areas. Again, not financial advice. So let's go look at NVIDIA today just to see where we are. We closed at 135.34, and it too kind of looks like Tesla in the SPY. So as of now, support was around this area of 132.28. We went back to the upside only to get rejected here at a level here that we have marked at 134.54, which is not far from that ATR trail, and stop at 134.68. Very, very close. And in my opinion, that is a strong resistance area. So where are the trouble places back to the upside? If by chance we break back above 134.91, we could very well have trouble 135.46, 135.67, not far away, 136.17, 136.42, 136.67, and again here at 136.99. Those could be possible rejection areas or resistance areas for NVIDIA. Now to the downside, under 133.47, we can come back to around 132.89, find support there. Losing that, we could very well come back to 132.29. We've been here before, here and over here, we've been there before, right? So breaking that level, 132.29, we can come back to around 131.82, 131.58, 131.18, 130.60, and under that 129.96, breaking that 129.50, again here at 129.01. So if you are trading NVIDIA today, I say trade carefully, y'all. In this market, anything is possible. Those are possible, you know, possible support and resistance areas. So let's look at Meta just to see where we are today. We closed at 659.36, and it too kind of resembles the other ones, right? So support is here at the 645.80, 645.68. I'm going to mark that because price came down to this level. Something stopped us here. We went back to the upside only to get rejected at this 20 EMA, and that's why it's important, y'all. Sometimes if you use the moving averages, use that as your support and your resistance. Very helpful, right? So where are the trouble places for Meta as of now? We need to get back above this 5 EMA around the, let's see, where is that? Around the 650.30 area, and if we should break that level, 651.55, breaking that brings us back to the 20 EMA, which we got rejected there before, 650.250. We can find trouble there, and if we should break that level, 654.04. What's interesting is the 50 EMA, the ATR trailing stop, and a previous level that I have marked here at 655.22. So that 654.91 to the 655.22 area for Meta could be a strong resistance area. So should we break that area, we could very well come back to around 657.64, and if we break that, 659.07, 659.89, and should we break that level, I would watch somewhere around the 661.27, and breaking that, I would possibly look around the 662.82 to possibly have resistance. That's what I was trying to say, resistance, right? So back to the downside for Meta, it seems like this is our support as of now around the 648.31. Breaking that brings us back to the 645.68 area. Should we break that, 642.60, and breaking that 640.20, breaking that level brings us back to 635.49, and should we break that, 630.17, breaking that level, 626.18. So those are your possible support and resistance areas areas for Meta. And y'all, I say it so often, right? In this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we are now looking at AMD. It looks as if we closed at 117.72. Trouble places to the upside as of right now. Support is around the 116.86, resistance around 117.38. Y'all see we're trading kind of like in this zone, right? So should we break this level of 117.38, we could possibly have trouble again around 117.59 here, because that's where price, I'm going to see if I can mark that. That's where price was having trouble at before, right? So if we break that level, we could possibly have trouble again here at this ATR trail and stop around 117.86. Should we break that level, we could possibly have trouble 118.25, and breaking that brings us back to around 118.66. If we should break that level 119.03, and breaking that, we could very well have trouble around the 119.37, not very far away. But should we break that 119.37, which is here where the body of these candles are here, should we break that level, we could possibly have trouble again somewhere around the 120.03. So if you're trading AMD today, those are possible areas to the upside. Now to the downside, let's say we get back under, lose support here at this 116.86 area. We can use the 50 EMA as of now as a support for us, 116.48. If we should break that level, 116.05, under that 115.79, and I'm going to mark that 115.79 here. Why? Because price was in this area here, and as you can see, that's where this candle kind of is almost there, and these the candles here are almost there. Yes, it is wick and body, let me say that, but let me see if I can remove that out. For some reason it is not. It's okay, we move on, right? So as of now, 115.79, breaking that level for AMD, we can possibly find support again somewhere around this level of 115.22, and breaking that brings us back to around 114.82, 114.63. Under that 114.29, should we break that level, it brings us back to around 113.83. If we should break that, I would watch this layer of 113.49, and breaking that 113.01. So if you are trading AMD today, those are possible areas to the upside and to the downside. Again, y'all, not financial advice, and I say so often, in this market anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So we are looking at Alphabet Inc. C, which is Google, GOOG. Where are the trouble places? As you can see, y'all, we've been trading here in this gathering spot. You know, just this zone is what I like to say, right? So where are the trouble places? As of now, that 166.01 is a little trouble for us. As you can see, we tried to break through it only to come back down. There was a wick here. Sellers would say we're taking that price back to the downside. So that 166.01 is a trouble place as of now. Should we break that 166.41, which is not far away from the ATR trail, and stop at the 166.66, that is interesting, right? So should we break that level for Google, it is a strong area of resistance in my opinion. 166.88, again at 167.06, and breaking that, we can come back to around 168.09 and possibly have trouble there. Should we break that 168.09 or 168.11 area, we could possibly have trouble again 168.34, which is the high of this candle here. However, breaking that, we could very well come back to 169.99 or 170.04, and there is something that, you know, could possibly stop us out there. So just be mindful of that. Again, not financial advice. Now back to the downside, if by chance we break under 165.16, which is going to be our 50 EMA as of now, we could very well come back to this level of 164.38. Breaking that 163.59, breaking that 163.16. Should we break that 162.65, and should we break that level 161.98, and breaking that 161.40? Should we break the 161.40 area, we could very well have support somewhere around the 160.67 area. Should we break that level, 159.95. So if you are trading Google or Alphabet Inc. C, Those are possible areas to the upside and to the downside. And y'all know I say so often in this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. Make sure you set your stop losses. And once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in the trade, make sure you have the discipline to execute your plan or get out. I say live to trade another day, right? So again, I hope that everyone have a very profitable day, a very, very productive day. If you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all, because we learn and we grow together. So with that being said, until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.